So this is my boy. I thought of taking him to a treat to KFC today, but he doesn't like the soft drinks. That's Mountain Dew and that's Sasi. Saying that he actually prefers, what do you prefer?
Water.
Do you prefer water than Mountain Dew or Sasi or Coke or anything?
Yeah.
Why?
Because mineral water is healthier than any drink.
Oh, okay, alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my son. Say hello. Hello, good morning. You're watching Great Eats and I'm here at Tiong Bahru Market to talk about what I consider is the best Cantonese roast meat stall in Singapore. I mean, I've tried many Cantonese roast meat stalls in my life and I haven't found one which is better than this one. But you don't have to believe me. The store hasn't opened yet, but when the store opens, just look at the long queues here. And the long queues are despite the fact that the prices at this roast meat stall are higher as compared to other roast meat stalls in Singapore. So that's saying something, you know. So Tiong Bahru Lee Hong Ki Cantonese Roasted was founded in 1960 by a man called Lee Hong and his son. Lee Hong hailed from Guangzhou, China, and the father and son duo started out as a pushcart stall along Kim Tian Road before relocating to Tiong Bahru Hawker Centre when it opened. It is now helmed by Lee Hong's grandson, a third generation owner, Jackson Lee, who has quite a number of staff working for him, friends and relatives. So come, let's have a taste. 两个人吃啊，炸酥油拌肥瘦，酥油肠，酥油给我quarter duck，饭一个。
3块半335
335 啊。Test. Okay, so I'm back from the store and I've ordered a broad range of their roast meats. Some char siu, siu yo, roast pork, roast duck, and some siu chong, which is freshly grilled Chinese sausage, some veg and some rice. Okay, so first talking about the char siu. This stall has the most comprehensive variety of char siu cuts of any roast meat stall in Singapore. You can get lean char siu, fatty char siu, half fat, half lean char siu, char siu ribs, and pu jian tian char siu, pig armpit char siu. But for this vlog, I'll just concentrate on one variety, the pan fei shou, half fatty, half lean. I'll do a separate vlog about the various char siu cuts that can be had at the stall, and at the same time, I might as well do a how to order char siu 101 for complete beginners. So look out for that in the future. So taking a piece, it's basically char siu and they've drizzled on just a little bit of sauce. Amazing, wonderful. Like most stalls, Lee Hong Ki uses the picnic shoulder for their char siu, and the marinade is very simple here: salt, sugar, dark soy sauce, and light soy sauce. Malt sugar is used to give it a glossy shine. With pan fei shou char siu, right, there's more fat than usual, you know. In the meat side, when it's freshly roasted, right, it's very, very moist with a nice chew, and the fat side has this great melting texture. Flavor-wise, it's got this nice balance of delicate sweet and savory, and the coating is the magical thing here. Because the meat is dipped in the marinade every 15 minutes during the 45-minute roasting process, it has this beautiful textured coating on the meat. And if you actually concentrate on the coating itself, right, just the texture, it's got this very slight sugar crisp crustiness, and at the same time there is a bit of that melted sugar texture on the coating. So there are these two different textures on the coating. It's very unique. To top it off, it's roasted with a bit of caramelization. So there's a bit of earthy burnt flavors mixed in. And even though there are sugar crystals on the coating, right, the overall flavor isn't too sweet at all. Very impressive. Next, the roast pork. Oh, today doesn't seem very good. Okay, crunch test. Crispy. Oh my god. The meat side. Okay, not as moist today. Today's an off day, but I have tasted days where the roast pork is basically absolutely spot on lah. You know, the way they do their roast pork here is a bit different lah. Most roast meat stalls will mix 5-spice powder and salt for the roast pork seasoning, and when they get it right, it's good. But when it's bad, the 5-spice flavoring can be too intense. At this stall, they omit the 5-spice and just use salt. That's it. And they make sure that it is roasted well. The final result is wonderful when it is spot on. Usually it is spot on. Today is not. The skin has an excellent biscuit crunch and the meat is moist. And there's a salt boost at the ends over here, but it never gets too salty. The big benefit of using just salt is that you can taste the naked flavor of the pork, which is wonderful. To boost the flavor, they drizzle on some dark soy sauce and roast meat juices, but you can still taste the flavor of the pork here. That said, if you want the flavor to be a little bit more pure, right, you can ask them to omit the dark soy sauce completely or to have it on the side. Let's try another piece, make sure it's not dry. I mean, it looks dry enough, okay. Yeah, meat side is dry, but the skin is wonderfully crunchy. Okay, next, the roast duck. I asked for a quarter of a duck. Just look at that. Fantastic. Okay, let's try the hardest part, okay, which is the breast meat. So the roast duck breast is hardest to get right because it's just meat lah. It tends to be drier than the rest, but let's try it. Oh. Yes, it is drier, but it's still moist. Quite impressive actually. They drizzle on a bit of gravy here. I think it's just the roasting juices. Oh. Okay, let's try one piece with some skin on it, this one. Oh, very juicy, very fatty. The skin itself has got a soft crispness. It's not crispy lah, you know, but still very nice. As for the flavor of the roast duck, it's basically salted and it's got a bit of that 5-spice powder. And if you dip it in the sauce which they give you, it's basically the roasting juices plus a bit of dark soy sauce, I think. There's this complex savouriness going on and there's no sweetness at all. Fantastic. And it's nice that they actually cut it up into big chunks here, so that you actually get a good mouth feel to the meat. There isn't too much herb flavors in the taste, which will divide people you know. Some people will like that, some people won't, so it's up to you. Oh, by the way, just to get an idea of what all this costs, right? You have this, and this, and it costs $33.50. Not exactly the cheapest in the world, but at least the quality is there. So I have some meat dipped in the roasting juices, and let's get it on. My God. Dipped in the juice and it won't be dry lah. And I'm pretty sure it's going to taste glorious. Oh my God. The meat is very moist. Very nice. Okay, next, the chong. Okay, what is chong? Let me show you first. Oh, fantastic. This is essentially lapcheong, dried Chinese sausage, but it's not dried. Instead, the fresh sausage is slow roasted over a low heat and the flavor is exceptional. It's got a 5-spice flavorings and an equal amount of pork and fat flavor and some of that salt and sugar to boost all of that. This is really a no-compromise full flavor that's full of seasoned pork, and there's lots and lots and lots of pork fat flavor here. I mean, just look at the fat content of this. It's amazing. Look, not sure if you can see it but there's basically meat right in the center over there, and then surrounding it is all fat. It's pretty amazing. It's got a hardy texture and the fat has got like a firm bounce to it. I mean, the piece I just had, I estimate was about 50% fat and it tastes glorious as a result. Also, when you eat it alone, right, it is not as salty or as sweet as you would think. It's also not as salty and sweet as lapcheong, so you can eat this on its own. It's very hard to find this in roast meat stalls in Singapore, and in my experience, This is the only stall that does a true siu chong in Singapore lah. There are other stalls that look like they do siu chong, but it turns out to be something completely different. Very often it's pre-packaged Taiwan sausages that is roasted. The reason why you don't find this at roast meat stalls is because it is very laborious to do. But also because there has been this demonization of animal fats lah for many decades, which is completely unwarranted lah in my opinion. So people shy away from the fat as a result. But in the last decade or so, there has been lots of research showing that saturated fat is actually very healthy for you. I won't go into the details in this vlog, but for those of you who are interested in learning more, you can go to the link in the video description below. And that talks about the health benefits of saturated animal fats. As for how siu chong is made, the meat filling is fatty pork cheek, marinated with 5 spice, pepper, salt and sugar, then stuffed into large pig's intestines. That's why when you taste it right, there's a very noticeable 5 spice flavor here. And the reason why siu chong is roasted slowly over a low fire, because if it is cooked over a high heat, the skin will split and the meat will spill out, just like how a sausage would on a skillet. Next, the chili sauce. Very slightly sour, very gritty, very earthy, and quite savoury. And there's a unique underlying flavour which I can't quite describe, nor do I know what it is. There is no oiliness, which means that the chili is great for when the flavour gets too rich and fatty. This will quickly cut the richness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, let's see. Actually, it'll be really good with the roast pork lah. Yep, it goes very well. One char siu with the chili. It's good. Oh, that actually tames the sweetness a bit. Very nice. Mix the rice with the chap, the gravy. Now, this is just a short note lah, to show you that this is the rice with the gravy on it. Sometimes they put it on the rice, sometimes they put it at the side. Some gravy on the rice. Oh. Okay, they will ask you if you want some gravy on the rice. Okay, it adds more flavor, very lightly sweet, very lightly savory. It's got this flour and water to thicken it up. 够甜. It adds more flavor, but some people don't like too much flavor on their meat and rice. That said, this gravy is actually quite sensible. It doesn't add too much flavor because the flavor is quite delicate, and it's also not oil rich, which is sensible because roast meats are quite rich and flavorful already lah. So I'm going to take a piece of meat, some rice, some roast pork, rice, and the gravy right over here. Pairs together very nice. Oh my god. And it also helps to alleviate the dryness of the roast pork, which is unfortunately a bit dry today, as I said. So how they make the gravy is to use black bean paste, 豆瓣酱, shallots and garlic, water, then it's thickened with starch, then combined with the roasting meat juices. Before they add the gravy, some dark soy sauce is drizzled on the rice to boost the colour and flavour a bit. And lastly, the vegetables. Some soy sauce vegetables which can be had for $4 or $3. It's quite a lot of vegetables for the price. Just some simple green veg with some slightly sweetened soy sauce added, some oil and some fried onions on top if you want some veg in your meal. This is something you don't see every day, a duck liver with a bit of fat hanging on it. I'm pretty sure this would taste fantastic. Oh god. Brings a new meaning to the term fatty liver. Oh. Okay, finished. Oh, by the way, if you're thinking that this doesn't actually offer any veg, they actually do lah. They give you some sliced cucumbers with the skins on. If you're concerned about that sort of thing lah, and you want some veg. So there you go. I'll be back again one more time to try Lee Hong Ki's noodle dishes plus their various sides lah. And also to retry the roast pork lah, because I know that their roast pork is not normally as dry as today lah. Today must be an off day, so see you in a few days. Okay, I'm here on day 2 to talk about the noodle dishes that Lee Hong Ki offers here. I'll show you what I ordered. Okay, I ordered some char siu wanton mee with char siu noodles over here, and then they have the wontons here. And then I ordered some sui jiao mian, 3 dumplings, and then with some noodles and veg, some chilli. The chilli is very important, don't forget it. Then I also ordered the 2 sides that they have here. So I ordered the tofu and I ordered the braised egg. And I also ordered some more siu yok roast pork to double check the quality lah. Today it looks back to normal. It wasn't as bad as the other day. So let's try the siu yok again. Meat looks much better today. Oh my god. First crunch test. That's damn crunchy. And the meat side. Much better. Okay, the skin still has an excellent biscuit crunch. That's the best bit lah. The meat, it's moist and it's slightly dry depending on the piece. Oh, but this piece is very, very moist, very nice. But generally speaking, this is a very good siu yok lah. Very well done. This is like the holy grail. Extremely moist meat, soft fat, also moist as well. And the skin is super crunchy. So hard to get. Now next, let me try the char siu wanton mee. $4 and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of meat. Okay lah. You know, and this is the noodles. Obviously it's hardened just a bit. Okay, let me mix the noodles first. This is the noodles. The noodles are okay. It's got a decent oil richness and a savory sauce on it. Yeah, very delicate savouriness lah. It could be douban-jiang based, but I'm not too sure. Uses the Singapore style egg noodles instead of the thin Hong Kong variety. The char siu, 6 slices, it's alright. It is medium thickness and they give you the lean char siu. But very moist. Wow. But generally the char siu is on the slightly thicker side, so that's pretty good. But this is where the magic comes in. The magic is actually the chili sauce. When you add the chili sauce, it's like amazing. But first, let's taste it alone lah. Really good. The summer chili has a great balanced flavor. You can taste the chili, it's a medium spiciness and oil richness. And it's not too heavy on the dried prawn. It's a bit savory, it's a bit sweet, very slightly sweet and a slight tanginess. But what makes it unique is that they throw in onions into the mix. So there is this third dimension to the flavor. A unique onion flavor and sweetness that's different from the sugar sweetness that you get from other Cantonese roast meat stalls. So what you do is that when you mix it with the noodles, right, so that's really amazing. Nice oil richness, a bit sweet with a dried prawn, and not too savory. The only problem is that sometimes they don't add enough of the sambal chili to go with the noodles. So sometimes you need to ask for more. In fact, let me ask for more first. Okay, I got more here. This chili is really amazing. Add some, put it in, some char siu on top. So a bit of noodles with the chili and some of the meat over here. That looks simply amazing. Next, the wontons. I mean, the wontons are meaty lah and nicely seasoned, and they've got a very nice pork taste to it inside. It's not a generous filling. It is a bit above average, which is okay. One more bite of the noodles. I'm gonna add some more of the chili. It's so good, my god. That is really damn good. So next, the shui jiao mian, dumpling noodles. This is $4. They give you 3 dumplings. The dumplings are really a big highlight here. Some noodles here, I've really mixed it with the chili lah, which is awesome. But this is the highlight here. These dumplings. Oh. Very generous fillings with very thick cut water chestnuts, very nicely seasoned and juicy minced pork and a prawn piece inside, and you get 3 of them. And the skins are not over blanched either. Let me take out the skin and then I'll show you the filling inside. As you can see, the water chestnuts are very thick, and there's also like a decent prawn piece also lah. Next, the tofu. This is the braised tofu. You can get this as an option lah. Oh god. Oh, very soft hard tofu. No sourness too, as it should be. And there's a slight savory sweetness in the sauce. Better shot of one. And the braised egg. And they splash on some sauce on it. Braised egg. And this is the soup lah, just to show you. It's nothing spectacular or anything. It's got a bit of stock flavour inside. Prawn, I believe. Actually quite comforting. Not thin either. Very nice. Okay, finished. So that was a look at Tiong Bahru Li Hong Ki Cantonese Roasted, which I feel is the best Cantonese roast meat stall in Singapore lah. Okay, despite the fact that they had a hiccup with their siu yok on my last visit. But generally speaking, their siu yok is usually very on point. And that was one of the rare occasions which I've actually had it dry, It's like 1 in 10 in my experience. But would I travel half across Singapore to eat here? A definite yes. There are not many roast meat stalls in Singapore that have such a comprehensive range of Cantonese roast meats. And all the meats here are incredibly well done. Mainly because they are constantly roasting small batches throughout the day. The roasting takes place at another hawker stall that's located about 10 stalls away from where they sell the meat. So that means that there is only a short window of time between the roasting process and the actual serving of the meat, meaning that the meat is always freshly roasted here. The only problem is that the prices are a bit higher as compared to other roast meat stalls in Singapore. But considering the generally consistent quality and the range, right, I would say that the prices are justified lah. And judging by the long queues, people don't seem to have a problem with the prices either. They are willing to pay for quality. Now, as I've said before, right, I've only talked about one variety of char siu at Li Hong Ki, but there are actually 5 varieties of char siu at the stall here. So I'll be doing a short follow-up vlog to talk about the other varieties of char siu and how to order them lah. So that vlog will be kind of like a how to order char siu 101 lah, for people who don't actually know. So look out for that in a future video. So thanks for watching another episode of Great Speed Eats, where I eat through the whole of Singapore. If you liked that video, please give it a like, subscribe and comment below, and turn on the notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one for more eating.